Hello everyone, thanks for joining me for another episode in a series of videos that I'm calling Why Ayurveda? Today we're going to be discussing Maharishi Ayurveda, what it is, where it's from, and I'm also going to give you a couple of concepts to introduce you to this work so you have a little bit of an idea of the journey that you're about to take. So what is Ayurveda? Well, literally translated, it means the science of life. So just by taking this step today and by watching this video, getting more curious about how you are interacting with the environment is a big step, and I commend you for it. Ayurveda is a system of personalized medicine that's based on your individual, unique composition. It's also preventative, meaning we look at ways to prevent disease and illness by bringing the system back into balance and hopefully adjusting some behaviors so that we can maintain a lifestyle of health over time, preventing illnesses or disease that may occur. Ayurveda is based on the 5 elements, which are air, space, water, fire, and earth. And these elements are what connect us to the laws of nature. They connect us to each other. And they also are the main way that we look to assess imbalance if it's present in your body. There are many schools that teach Ayurveda. I attend MIU, which stands for Maharishi International University, and it's in Fairfield, Iowa. It's consciousness-based, and that means that they recognize the important role that transcendental meditation plays in our overall health, and this is based on many scientific studies that show the benefits of meditation. Also, as an MIU trained professional, I'm also trained in transcendental meditation, which means that I practice it myself twice a day for 20 minutes. And it's been ingrained into my life, not only so that I can show up for you in a balanced, centered, and focused way to help you on your journey, but also so that I can see the benefits for myself, especially if I'm going to be recommending it to others. Where did Ayurveda come from? According to Vaidya Dinesh, one of my MIU professors, he said it's the science that existed before we were here, and it's the science of health and well-being for every organism. That was powerful for me when I heard that. It's not man-made, but it was discovered by rishis or observers in India many decades ago. And recently, within the last 2,000 years, these concepts have been written down in Vedic texts called Samhitas, and that's what we use today to guide our studies in these concepts. Within those Samhitas, they describe many aspects of a balanced Ayurvedic lifestyle, and we're going to now discuss 2 of those concepts. We'll talk about the doshas and how the ideas of similar versus opposite play into how successful you'll be at maintaining your health and integrating these behaviors within this Ayurvedic work. So, what are the doshas? Maybe you've heard that word. Doshas are 3 governing principles of nature that influence our physiology. They are made of varying levels of the 5 elements I mentioned earlier. Do you remember what they are? They are air, space, fire, water, and earth. You got it. So those 5 elements combine in unique ways, and the doshas, 3 of them, are called Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. Each one has a unique blend of the elements, just like I do, you do, and we all do. We're all uniquely different, just like snowflakes. When I read your pulse at our appointments, I'm basically feeling for the different levels of the doshas in your pulse. For example, I am a Pitta person, meaning I run warm temperature-wise. I am medium build, my bone structure. I have reddish skin. I have a tendency towards inflamed skin issues like psoriasis. I have a strong appetite. I'm always hungry. I have strong digestion, meaning it's very quick and fast. And I have strong opinions. especially when I'm hungry. So that's a really good example of a Pitta person. And the Pitta dosha is comprised mostly of fire and water. So perhaps you can see how those two elements would come out in those symptoms that I just described, right? Also, I've never liked eating spicy foods. And now I understand why. It's because I already have enough fire inside. I don't need any more. So this is how we'll use the elements to better understand the science of you too. Understanding how your lifestyle and diet is affecting the health of your body is the first step in restoring balance. That brings me to our second concept, similar versus opposite. Now, these Sanskrit terms are samanya versus vishesha. The concept of similar versus opposite is important when we discuss how the imbalance happened or the causation versus how we can use counterbalance or opposing therapies to bring you back into balance. So think of the image of a seesaw. If an adult is on one end, let's say a child is on the other end, right? That's obvious imbalance, okay? Let's pretend that this is constipation, style indigestion, right? Now, if I could put another adult on the opposite side and of similar weight, right? Then they could enjoy the seesaw. There would be balance restored and everything would move smoothly, right? Now, that could also relate to what I was just discussing about the pitta, right? So if we talked about similars, right? If I were to eat more spicy foods, I'm already a pitta person with lots of heat in my system, then I could potentially get some discomfort from symptoms of acid reflux if I ate too much hot, spicy foods, right? So a better approach for me would be to eat cooling foods such as cucumbers or melons or avocados, which would be vishesha, implementing the opposite therapy to help reduce the heat and therefore reducing my symptoms. So once we determine the causative factors in your life, we will then use these concepts of similar and opposite to bring you back into balance. If you continue those behaviors, regardless of my recommendations, then you are choosing to remain imbalanced and you'll continue to experience the symptoms. So basically you're in control here, right? Please keep that in mind when you decide to move forward with this work. It is really that powerful. So you see, we've covered what Ayurveda is, where it came from. We discussed the concepts of the doshas and samanya versus vishesha and how it can play a role in your success with these lifestyle recommendations. Hopefully now it's even clearer for you to see why Ayurveda. Thank you so much for watching and I look forward to seeing you soon.